Yo, Fabian, are you ready?
Yeah, just give me 1 second though.
Are gonna do.
I'm Fabian Olsen. Hello and welcome into the latest edition of The Special. I'm Fabian Olguin, a junior from Lubbock High School.
And I am Michelle Moreno, a senior from Coronado High School. On this edition of The Special, we tell you how everyone has a story.
That's right. Mr. Ward challenged us a few weeks back to come up with a person and tell their story.
And it didn't matter who it was because everyone has a story. And we start with my story. Over on 34th Street, there's a teacher that inspires his students, but in a unique way. Take a look at this story on my very own teacher, Mr. Scott. At Coronado High School, there's a financial math teacher that is investing in his students' futures.
All right, so I'm looking through this website and I need to explore my options on financing this truck that I'm looking at. Okay. So where do I start with that? Like, I know I have to have down payments and then finance for the rest of the money.
Okay, that's a good start.
How's Mr. Scott as a teacher? Well, he's one, cool and collected with everything.
I feel like he's that kind of person like I can just go to if I ever need help with something. And he's very outgoing and awkward, but he's a really good teacher overall.
Mr. Scott is also a teacher that wants the best for his students. But what most people don't know
You want me to just play something?
is that Mr. Scott is a rock star.
Sometimes I feel the fear of uncertainty stinging clear. How was it in a rock band? Okay, in a rock band, it's fun, it's exciting. We toured, I loved playing music. The only thing I didn't like about it was you're just in a new town every day. You meet lots of people, but you don't remember who you've met. So I'd probably met thousands of people and don't even remember who they are.
Mr. Scott has been playing music for 20 years and has loved it his entire life. And that music blends here in his classroom at Coronado High School.
A teacher, I was in grad school and we wrote I studied philosophy and theology and we wrote 35-page papers. And so writing the papers made it pretty easy for me to teach English. And so I did that for about 3 years. Having the math part, I studied math and now I teach mathematics and finance.
Mr. Scott has applied music into his lessons, letting students learn creatively and giving them the platform to express themselves and bond with their teacher.
I'm standing right here by Mr. Scott in the 500 hall where I learned a lot. That's all I got. Psych, I got some more. Let me introduce myself. Yeah, my name is Tone. I'm a student of Mr. Scott where I start my provolone. This is no regular math where you use a calculator and add and subtract, but when you learn about life, how to count and rap, we're going broke. Pay attention, Mr. Scott got jokes.
For Lubbock ISD TV, I am Michelle Moreno. As you can see, Mr. Scott has a really good bond with his students and lets their talents shine through.
He really does. Great story, Michelle. My favorite part was hearing Antonio rap.
Mine too. Crazy thing is, it only took him 5 minutes to write that, and it was that good.
Wow, that's crazy. Now, let's take it over to our second story of the show, as Mr. Ward interviews a longtime Lubbock ISD teacher.
Yeah, Fabian, here at the ATC, we have tons of teachers with a great amount of in-classroom experience. But there's one that really stands out above the rest, not only with his in-classroom experience, but his loud booming voice and his genuine character. Here's the story of Mr. Frank Anderson.
Across Lubbock ISD, we have some unbelievable teachers. Teachers that go above and beyond, and teachers who create lifelong bonds with their students. And here at the Byron Martin Advanced Technology Center, We have a teacher living an ordinary life in an extraordinary way.
Just a normal guy, nothing special. I really enjoy teaching. I enjoy being around people. I try to be as positive as I can. That little piece right there. No, that little piece right there. Yeah, right here.
But this normal guy is so special to so many. Mr. Anderson started in Lubbock ISD back in March of 1977. And the way he got here, his journey, and the people that he's impacted, well, that's a story you'll want to hear.
When I graduated from high school, in fact, when I was in high school, all I wanted out of high school was me. That's it. Just get out, graduate. And then I went to college. First year was not a good situation because I went because my mother wanted me to. I didn't want to go.
In the time period after that, Mr. Anderson worked various jobs over the years until a friend told him about an industrial arts degree.
I said, oh, okay, I can graduate from college with something that I don't have to, it's not going to be all book work, it's going to be using tools, it's going to be, because woodworking, metalworking, drafting, all kinds of things we do in that class, in that degree, and it'll be fun.
Once he went back and got the degree, a few friends from the hub city invited the East Texas native to the mountains of Ruidoso for a ski trip, where he learned about a job in Lubbock ISD.
I never really had to apply for a job. In a small town where I grew up, didn't have to apply. People needed to do work, they called you. If you needed work, you called them. Just one of those deals. So I said, I'm just going to apply for a teaching job just to do it. And I did, and I got it. I mean, there's a little more to it than that, but not a whole lot more.
So from 1977 to today, Mr. Anderson has been a staple of Lubbock ISD, working and impacting lives, believing in students when sometimes the students don't believe in themselves.
Helping them just move to the next level, find a place to be successful, to be comfortable, to be happy with themselves.
This week, Mr. Anderson will turn 70 years young and sees a bright future in Lubbock ISD.
I love my life. I love my life. This is the greatest job in the world if you're in the right situation, and I am in the right situation. I've always had a good job, but this has been, being at the ATC is a great job.
For Lubbock ISD TV, I'm Devin Ward.
As you heard there, Mr. Anderson has plans of Lubbock ISD in his future, and we're thankful for that. Not only for him being a part of our team, because he's a huge part of our team, but for the impact that he's made on his students. I'll send it back to you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ward. And Michelle, I think that's going to wrap it for the first block of the show.
Yes, it is. And so when we return, we are going to tell a story of a police officer and a story about church deacons making an impact.
But first, we head to two band halls here in Lubbock ISD and tell some stories to march to the beat of the drum.
You won't want to miss that next on the special, only on Lubbock ISD TV.
A lot of us are into social media these days, so we thought we could get the teachers into it.
And you tweeted. Good job. Any questions? Yes.
So can I blog on my Blueberry?
I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, does this help with my pocket dialing? And can I retweet myself?
What?
Where is the photobomb button? Ooh, wow, what a sandwich. Hey, look, this cat is playing the piano. Are you seeing that on that Tic Tac app? Yeah, I believe I am.
Well, they have a ways to go, but at least it's a start.
All right, before I hand out our social media diplomas, let's review about what we learned. Yes.
You wouldn't poke anyone in real life, so So don't post them on Facebook.
Good, good.
Yes.
Think creatively and create valuable content for your audience.
Very good. All right, our last one. You got anything?
Sorry, my new duck face selfie is trending right now.
Well, you can't reach all of them.
Welcome back into the special on Lubbock ISD TV. Moments ago, we showed you some stories on some of the amazing teachers here in Lubbock ISD. But let's turn our focus over onto some students.
That's right, Fabian. And in the afternoon class, 2 of my fellow students are active members of their respective bands. And we start with Tolliver Durbin. Tolliver?
Yeah, Michelle. Here's my story highlighting the skills required to make the drumline and how the seniors impact the future leaders of Monterey High School.
At Monterey High School, there's an elite drumline. But to be on the drumline, you have to be the very best and make the cut. And that makes Jack Shanklin, a freshman being on drumline, so impressive.
So basically, for a lot of my 8th grade school year, I worked really hard to get where I was at the time. But coming into auditions, I was really nervous. Everyone was really good. All the other guys, all the upperclassmen.
But it wasn't easy for our friend.
So yeah, I went in there and I basically messed up really bad. And I was like crying. So, but then I thought I did really bad. And then the next like week or so, the percussion tech at the time came and told me that I in fact made it. So that was pretty awesome.
After making the drumline, Jack has networked and made tons of new friends.
Making new connections and trying to be the same friends and mentors that the upperclassmen were to me and try and carry on that legacy.
But now, this freshman is moving up in classifications, and he has learned a ton this year, ready to take his next marching step and beat to the drum as one of the leaders.
I think that the senior this year has really taught me a lot about percussion, and that he's been a good friend, and I think that a lot of the freshmen are going to need that they might be the same way, they feel the same way that I did when I was coming in, and I think they need that same comfort.
Reporting for Lubbock ISD TV, I'm Tolliver Durbin.
I'm looking forward to seeing Jack taking that next step as a leader and seeing him grow. Fabian, I'll send it back to you.
Thanks, Tolliver. Now, we turn to Omar Cantero as he takes us out of state for his story.
Thanks, Fabian. My brother is a hard-working and tremendous person, but we do have a disclaimer before watching my story. In this story, we cover some difficult issues, including depression and suicidal thoughts. So, your discretion is advised.
In the beautiful mountains near the capital city of Sacramento, California, is where you can find 33-year-old Kevin Castaneda, an ultra runner who always keeps moving forward. Kevin has built a name for himself in the Sacramento running community and surrounding areas, with local citizens knowing him as Beta.
Anything beyond 26.2 miles is considered an ultra, and I run an ultra almost every weekend.
Kevin, or also known as Beta, actively participates in marathons all over Northern California. And his biggest accomplishment? You wouldn't believe it.
I remember my first 100-mile race. It was one of the toughest races. I didn't know what I was getting myself into.
For 39 hours straight, Kevin ran across towns, roads, and mountains until he finally crossed the finish line, along with 14 other runners out of the 100 who signed up to participate in the marathon.
So I remember getting to mile 60, and I get to the point of exhaustion, and I'm just like ready to just punch out, and I don't, because I grew up the hard way. But, I kept the positive mindset. I just keep pushing myself.
What do you think is your favorite part of running?
Going out on the trail, getting into the zone, like I go into a zen mode, all my troubles and all the things that I'm worrying about, they kind of all just go away.
But what got him started and what kept him moving was a moment in his life he will never forget. The passing of his best friend, Maddie.
My life was spiraling out of control and I wasn't in a good place. I thought about suicide and all those things. And to come from that mindset to not wanting to be here to where I am today, it's been a blessing.
Step by step, mile by mile, Kevin does it all in the loving memory of Maddie.
I got into running and it's helped turn all the negative in my life into a positive. It's helped change my mindset that, anything is possible.
And now, even with Maddie gone, she is with Kevin in every step he takes. No matter any hurdle, hill, or mountain that has gotten in Kevin's way, he has been able to overcome any obstacle thrown at him. Now, Kevin is an up-and-coming father with his new baby girl Luna due in just a couple of days. But before then, he keeps on running, one step after another, one marathon after another, and I am proud to call him my brother. Reporting for Lubbock ISD TV, I am Omar Quintero.
I love telling that amazing story on my brother. He truly is an inspiration, and I can't wait to meet his little girl. Michelle?
Wow, what an amazing story. Great job, Omar. Fabian, I think that we are really seeing some awesome stories and learning that everyone has a story.
That is so true, and I am looking forward to see more.
Well, you're in luck because when we return, we take you to one of our fellow students' churches.
But before that, we're gonna tell you the story of an ordinary guy with a not so ordinary story.
You won't want to miss it. Next on the special on Lubbock ISD TV.
An anchor has to trust their floor director. And so our team has been working hard on their trust. Trust fall.
Oh, got you there. Oh, thank you. Trust fall. Oh, hey. Trust fall.
Oh, dude, why didn't you catch me?
Sorry, man. Anchors only.
How he's so good at seeing all the cues from the floor director. He says it's all about peripheral vision. That's why he is constantly working to strengthen his.
KZ, VDC, VSHZ, HDK, CRZ.
It's truly impressive how good he is.
Best of luck to you next school year. Sign Zach.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate it. This is so cool.
No problem. You should come for a newscast next time.
Welcome back to the special, only on Lubbock ISD TV. We are now in the C block of the show, where we will continue on with our stories.
That's right, Fabian. And now it's Gabe's turn.
Thanks, y'all. This project was about telling some of the stories of amazing people. And for me, there are some amazing people at my church that not only impact me, but my fellow youth members as well. Take a look. That was Terry Sparks, one of the amazing deacons at Broadway Church of Christ. On Wednesday nights, you will find these deacons mentoring, teaching, and spending time with all of the middle school and high school students in the youth group.
They're amazing facilitators for me, very great help.
On Wednesday nights, you will find these deacons mentoring, teaching, and spending time with all of the middle school and high school students in the youth group. These students, including myself, have this time in our week to take a step back, get to hang out with fellow friends, spend time with, and learn a lot from our deacons. While some of the deacons have been at the church for a long time, and some have been serving for a shorter time, they all share one thing in common. They all love and care deeply about all the kids in the youth group.
It's really that I get to hang out with kids who are 15, 16, 17, 18 years old, and they're young and they're fun and they have energy, and it keeps me young, and I have fun with them. Some of my best friends in the church are deacons, and so it gives me a chance to spend time with my friends.
A youth deacon is an adult that spends time with students from their church's youth group. They build relationships with these young men and women and become mentors to them.
I love
the kids. I love working with the kids. I love being with the kids. It helps keep me young.
What most about being a deacon is interacting with the kids and trying to remind myself that I was young once.
Probably what I enjoy most is just getting to interact with all of the youth here, and just getting to see it's a lot of fun, the different ages and all the things that are going on and what they like, what they don't like, and that sort of thing. It just keeps life interesting.
Dude, I'm glad that Dave was here to learn about the broken foot of somebody.
Reporting for LISD TV, I am Gabe Ife.
I want to personally thank all the deacons for what they've done for me and all of the youth members at my church.
Great stuff, Gabe. I love seeing people pour love into other people. Now, don't we have one more story, Michelle?
We do. Let's send it over to Zach Darin, who is about to share a story about a peace officer. Zach?
Thanks, y'all. When we were given this assignment, I wasn't sure who I wanted to do a story on. But then I remembered a good old family friend, Anthony Castillo, a hard-working man that's moved up his way through life. Here in Lubbock, Texas, you'll find Anthony Castillo, a man that thinks he's just a regular guy. But there's more to him than even he thinks.
Really, my daily routine is pretty boring, to be honest. I have an office job, so...
But this boring, normal guy, just like anyone else, has a story. And his story, we pick up here at the Lubbock County Sheriff's Office.
2001, I started working in the jail there, and worked towards my peace officer license and obtained it, and then I transferred out of the jail and to courts and then to warrants, the Warrant and Fugitive Division, then to investigations where I spent 13 years. So, and in that time I was promoted to lieutenant.
After 20 years on the force, Anthony has been there and seen a ton. But to escape from the madness of everyday life as a police officer, our friend Anthony has his great escape, and it's a calming sport. But when he reflects back on his childhood memories, sports always come to mind.
Playing football. Yeah, we played football. We were 2A. We were state champs one year. Went state twice, and lost in the playoffs another year. So it was fun.
20 plus years on the force, a state championship ring, and many other accomplishments in his life. Our friend Anthony has a lot to be proud of. But when it's time to clock out, it's the ones that love and care for this normal guy that mean the most to him.
Probably my greatest accomplishments are my kids, my family. That's family.
And so there it is, the story of Anthony Castillo, a sport-loving, law-enforcing family man with a not-so-normal and boring life. For Lubbock ISD TV, I'm Zach Darin. It was an honor to get to chat with him and to tell his story. Now, I'll send it back to you.
Thanks so much, Zach. I think we can all look up to Anthony Castillo.
I agree. He shows that hard work and dedication will open up doors and opportunities, and you love to see that.
You do love to see it. And that's going to do it for this part of the show.
Yes, it is. And so when we return, we see a new open, plus we preview what's on the docket for upcoming shows.
And you won't want to miss that on the special here on Lubbock ISD TV.
Our students are intense about TV. Sometimes, maybe a little too intense. And so we hired a psychologist to keep an eye on them.
What about this one? That looks like a mirrorless camera on autofocus. Why is it on autofocus? Okay, what about this one? That looks like a gym on the track, going from left to right. Oh, that looks like a chicken. Good. Actually, that looks like a boom mic. It's a little too close to the actor though. I think it's gonna get in the shot.
You know what? I think we're gonna be just fine.
Our team is just different. Every aspect of every show is very important to them. Even the promotions.
Alright guys, so y'all know that our next game show is Turn Back the Clock, so that means we're going to the 70s. Let's go through the line, make sure we meet standards. Great job.
Yes, ma'am.
What are you supposed to be?
Sorry, I thought it was 1870s.
Welcome back to the special, only on Lubbock ISD TV. Fabian, we are in the final block of the show where we are going to start looking ahead at what's next for us on this 30-minute show.
Yeah, but before we do that, did anybody notice anything new on the top of the show?
I did. We have a new show opener.
Yes, we did. And Zeke did a great job on creating that open for our show. And Michelle, I like the music on it. It was upbeat and really catchy.
It really was. Now, that wasn't the only new open that was created. Our own Jeremiah Brins joined us now with another new open. Jeremiah?
Yeah, Michelle. After my story fell through, Mr. Ward tasked us to make an audible. And you know how Mr. Ward is. He is very strict on deadlines. And so, my audible was to create a new reel-to-reel intro. And being me, I had to make it super creative. So, I hope y'all enjoy our new reel-to-reel intro.
All right, show starting. Good job, pro presenter. Audio, get ready to unmute our anchor. Camera 1, I'm coming out to you. Stand by, camera 1. 3, 2, 1.
Of course, you will be seeing this intro from here on out on Lubbock ISD TV.
Thank you so much, Jeremiah. Now, Fabian, let's take a look about the upcoming shows right here on the special.
Sounds good. Right after this, Mr. Ward wants us to work on our demo reels. Now, a demo reel is a combination of all of our best work put into one video. The whole point of these videos is to help us get a job. And Michelle, you gotta like that.
I really do. We are also going to do a best of show where each class will pick their best videos and projects from throughout the year and showcase them in best of show.
Finally, we are going to do at least one more game show and one more big project before the school year ends. So, be on the lookout for those on the special, only on Lubbock ISD TV.
And I am looking forward to that.
I am too. But Michelle, I think that's gonna wrap it for today's show.
I do too. And so on behalf of my fellow students, we want to thank you so much for tuning in onto the latest edition of the special.
And we look forward to seeing you back here real soon. But until then, we hope you stay happy and healthy.
This has been a production of the students and staff at Lubbock ISD TV.
It's the early morning at Lubbock High School, and the students of room 2304 are getting ready to exercise. Their hands. The school's piano program has been going on for several years, but people still don't know about it.
What do you think about the piano class here?
We got piano classes?
Yeah, you didn't know?
No.
What do you think of our piano class here?
I didn't realize we had one.
I even asked forensics teacher, Mr. Pugh, about it.
Think it's okay?
Uh-huh.
I think it can be improved.
How so?
More publicity for the program.
Well, ask and you shall receive. But let's hear it from the students themselves.
My name is Joseph, as in Joseph, but with an A. I'd say my skill level would probably be level 3 intermediate.
I'm Noah, and I'm at level 3E.
The music, I'm really big into music, and there's many sounds that I know I can create just by making a beautiful melodic sound. And it's really a big stress reliever, even though it can also stress you out whenever you have a block in your mind.
I really enjoy just the playing and getting to see myself develop and working on sight reading and just improving at overall music skills.
I learned whenever I move my hands not to keep going like this, don't do that. It's use these three and move your thumb to this one.
I know that everyone from the intermediates to the advanced are gonna end this year on a high note.